Is the next NBA superstar hiding in plain sight? Today, we're diving deep into the Chicago Bulls' latest acquisition that's got everyone talking. Matas Buzelis might not look like your typical NBA powerhouse, but appearances can be deceiving. Welcome to Chicago Bulls News, your go-to source for the latest updates on the Windy City's favorite team. We've got you covered with breaking news, trade rumors, and in-depth analysis of everything Bulls. From United Center to the front office, we're bringing you the inside scoop. Hit subscribe and let's talk Bulls basketball. Today, we're zeroing in on a player who's been turning heads in the Chicago Bulls camp, Matas Buzelis. Now, before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on our upcoming draft analysis videos. Alright, let's talk about Matas Buzelis. If you've been following the pre-draft buzz, you've probably heard his name thrown around. But who exactly is this kid, and why are the Bulls so high on him? First things first, let's address the elephant in the room. There's been a lot of chatter about Buzelis' physique, with some critics saying he doesn't look like Corey Maggette. Now, for those of you who might not remember, Corey Maggette was known as one of the most physically imposing players of his era. The guy was built like a Greek god, earning him the nickname Bad Porn because, as the joke went, there was lots of penetration and scoring, but you didn't really like what you saw. But here's the thing, not every NBA player needs to look like they just stepped out of a bodybuilding competition. Basketball is a game of skill, instinct, and yes, strength, but strength comes in many forms. Let's break down what makes Buzelis special and why his perceived lack of Maggette-like muscles shouldn't be a concern for Bulls fans. Matas Buzelis stands at 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. That's some serious length, folks. But what sets him apart isn't just his size, it's how he uses it. Buzelis has a unique combination of guard skills and a forward's body. He can handle the ball, he's got court vision, and he can shoot from anywhere on the floor. Now, let's talk about his journey to the Bulls. Buzelis was born in Chicago to Lithuanian parents, both of whom were accomplished basketball players. Basketball is in his blood, and you can see it in the way he plays. He spent his high school years dominating the competition, earning a 5-star recruit status and catching the eye of several top college programs. But Buzelis took a different path. Instead of going the traditional college route, he signed with G League Ignite, following in the footsteps of players like Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga. This decision shows a maturity and focus that's rare for a player his age. He's not just looking to dominate college ball, he's preparing himself for the NBA from day one. Now, let's address the strength issue head-on. It's true that Buzelis doesn't have the bulky frame of a player like Zion Williamson or the chiseled physique of a young LeBron James. But here's where people are missing the point. Functional strength is what matters in basketball, not how you look in a tank top. Buzelis has what coaches call deceptive strength. He might not win any bodybuilding competitions, but watch him on the court. He's able to hold his position against bigger players, he doesn't get pushed around on drives, and he's surprisingly effective in the post. This versatility is what makes Buzelis such an intriguing prospect. In the modern NBA, positional flexibility is crucial. Buzelis has the potential to play anywhere from shooting guard to power forward. That kind of versatility gives coaches a lot of options and makes it harder for opposing teams to game plan against him. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Sounds great, but can he defend at the NBA level? It's a fair question, especially given the concerns about his strength. But here's where Buzelis surprises people. His length and lateral quickness make him a potentially elite defender. He can guard multiple positions, and his instincts are off the charts. Watch how he anticipates passes here, how he uses his length to disrupt shots without fouling. This is high-level defensive IQ. But what really excites me about Buzelis is his potential for growth. He's only 19 years old. His body is still developing, and he's already shown a commitment to improving his game. With NBA-level strength and conditioning programs, there's no telling how much he could develop physically over the next few years. Now, let's talk about how Buzelis fits with the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls have been in a bit of a limbo lately, caught between rebuilding and competing. They've got some established stars in Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, but they've been missing that X factor, that player who can tie everything together. Buzelis could be that player. His versatility allows him to fit into multiple lineups. Need a shooter to space the floor for LaVine's drives? Buzelis can do that. Need a secondary playmaker to take some pressure off the guards? He can do that too. And on defense, his length and quickness could help shore up some of the Bulls' weaknesses on that end of the floor. But perhaps most importantly, Buzelis represents hope for the future. The Bulls have been stuck in mediocrity for too long. They need young talent that can develop alongside their established stars and eventually take over as the face of the franchise. Buzelis has that potential. Imagine a lineup with Buzelis at the 3, LaVine at the 2, and a defensive-minded center. That's a core that could compete in the East for years to come. Buzelis' shooting would open up driving lanes for LaVine, while his playmaking could help get DeRozan easier looks. And on defense, his versatility would allow the Bulls to switch everything, making them a nightmare for opposing offenses. Now, I'm not saying Buzelis is going to come in and immediately transform the Bulls into championship contenders. Development takes time, especially for players with his unique skill set. But what I am saying is that Bulls fans should be excited. This is the type of player that can change the trajectory of a franchise. Before we wrap up, let's address one more thing. There's been some talk about Buzelis' mentality, with some questioning whether he has the killer instinct needed to succeed in the NBA. To that, I say, watch the tape. Look at his body language here. The game is on the line, and he's calling for the ball. He wants those big moments. And more often than not, he delivers. That's not something you can teach. Either you have it or you don't, and Buzelis has it. So, to sum it all up, Matas Buzelis might not look like Corey Maggette, but he doesn't need to. He's his own player, with a unique skill set that could make him a star in today's NBA. He's got the length, the skills, and most importantly, the basketball IQ to succeed at the highest level. Bulls fans, you've got a good one here. Don't get caught up in how he looks in a uniform. Focus on what he does on the court. Because if Buzelis develops the way many think he can, you might be looking at the future face of your franchise. That's all for today, folks. What do you think about Matas Buzelis? Do you think he's the missing piece for the Bulls? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more NBA draft analysis. Remember, in basketball, it's not about how you look, it's about how you play. Peace out, hoop heads.